Cheers, Charlie.
Cheers, Hillary.
Thanks for having us in.
Thank you for visiting.
We're in your office space, drinking your drink of choice.
Here in New York.
Here in New York, a gin, half tonic, half soda. Okay, I'm so excited to hear about this collection. You connected CB2 with like the finest dealers, shops, and galleries to like curate, and you scouted all over Europe for this like one-of-a-kind collection of like rare vintage. I know a lot went into this, so like what was that process like? How do you even start?
The process that CB2 and I kind of collaboratively developed is in a way an extension of my process that I use in my design practice.
Okay.
Where I'm constantly moving and looking and scouting for unique, interesting pieces that may be valuable and collectible or just might be funky and cool. And so when they came to me with kind of this open-ended concept to bring vintage into their store assortments, I kind of put together a mood board along the lines of those that represented what I thought would fit into their program.
Sure.
Conceptually. And with the green light from them, I went out into the market and began like searching for things that fell within those parameters of material, style, period, origin. And then I took the team to Europe basically to review and approve ultimately a kind of prototype mock-up installation of what a vintage installation in one of their stores would look like.
I know it's probably hard, but to pick, do you have a favorite piece out of the hundreds? And also, second question, do you ever find a piece when you're looking maybe for a client or a project that you want for yourself?
All the time. It's like my biggest weakness.
What do you do?
Yeah, I do.
You just don't tell it, like put that in your own
I'm
cart.
a compulsive shopper, and I accumulate. Hopefully, I accumulate quality, but not always. You make mistakes. But it's funny. I have whole projects essentially like in my storage of things that I know just like make sense together that I saw and had to have. As far as the collection, there isn't anything that we bought that I wouldn't use for myself. So in that way, I love it all. I am partial to vintage lighting.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like functional sculpture in a way. So there's some great pieces of lighting. There's a pair of perforated metal kind of columns that's actually in the collection preview that I really love. They nest within themselves, they move up and down. They're kind of in this tradition of matigo, perforated metal. They're industrial, but they're modern.
We're always inspired by people who are just like following their passion. At what point in your life did you know that you wanted to be in this industry and you wanted to make a career? Like, did you always love this world, or?
I did. I grew up in a world where design was present in a more traditional kind of classical way. I grew up in Connecticut. And it always kind of lit me up to see like a beautifully designed room, beautifully executed curtains or paneling in a library or whatever. And I was aware of that sensitivity.
You appreciated it.
I did, but I didn't know that was my path probably until some point in Los Angeles after college.
Okay.
When it was like, okay, I think I'm ready to be a decorator.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. There was a lot of pressure, not from my parents, but just from the culture that I grew up in to be somebody in finance. The male that worked at a bank and made a lot of money and worked really hard.
Right.
And hired a decorator to do the house. But I want to be the one that does the house.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like giving up along the way? Or were you like, there's no plan B, I'm doing this no matter what?
Once I was clear on what I wanted, there was no plan B.
Yeah.
But there are major moments of frustration. And I think like in any industry, there is an inherent amount of complication and failure built into the process.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of like just learn to when something goes wrong to adapt and to work around it.
Yeah.
And sometimes there are happy accidents where something goes wrong and it actually yields a better outcome than it would otherwise. And that's important to remember even as a consumer shopping our vintage collection, that you may not be sure it's the right piece for you, but if you love it, just buy it.
Yeah, so it'll work somewhere.
It's going to find a home in your home. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I would imagine with every project you're evolving and learning. What's something that you learned during working with CB2 for this collection? Whether it's something you learned about yourself or how has this project pushed you or taken you out of your comfort zone?
This project has taught me that you can really you can accomplish something from nothing in a way. When you have committed partners. I would never have dreamt I would be doing this until I got this phone call, and I had it in my mind, okay, this is what these guys want. Like, how can I assist them in doing this? And I was in Berlin at the time, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna pop into this dealer that I work with here and just run this idea by him to see if he'd be amenable to being part of it, and he was totally into it, and that kind of got me excited and got my mind began pattern sorting for a pathway toward this what CB2 had asked for, and it all kind of came together. It's about a positive attitude, a can-do attitude,
yes.
A willingness to pick up the phone and ask people, to get involved. And
just roll up your sleeves and get to work.
Yeah,
and
basically. And this can be applied, I'm sure, in so many different industries and businesses. But I do like a collaborative spirit, and I feel like this project is a manifestation of that.
If you could describe it in just a few words, how would you describe it?
My keyword describing the design that I do is eclecticism. I think that's embodied in the collection. I think the collection is, it's serious. It is a survey of historical design of Italian, French, Scandinavian, German, and other origins. Beginning in the 30s, 40s, into the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So that's kind of that's the academic lens. But it's also, it's playful. There's a lot of just funkiness in it, and I think that's what sets it apart. It's not rigid.
Right. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see it all.
Eclectic, funky, and not too serious.
I'm standing in line before the doors open. Well, cheers. Congratulations on the collection and the collaboration. It's awesome.
Thank you, Hillary.
Cheers to...
It's an honor to be your guest.
Oh my God.